Allegedly, Canon has a pretty solid lens coming out potentially in Q4 this year. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Reggie Bana, the owner of RBS Media Productions, and on this channel we talk about all things related to the business of photography and videography. And welcome to a weekly series in which we talk about upcoming camera gear and news. And as always, this video will be timestamped, so you can jump around to whatever point in the video that you want to watch. This isn't a deep dive into gear, but more of a quick discussion of things. Disclaimer aside, if you like this type of content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to show some support. Last week, I had to skip a video because unfortunately, I was traveling to do a wedding photo shoot out in the beautiful island of Turks and Caicos. If you haven't been, you should definitely check it out if you ever get the chance. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. As I mentioned in the last gear video, the Mavic 4 Pro is coming out. And it's poised to be a drone unlike any other drone before it. Seriously, these specs are absolutely breathtaking. I'm not going to do a deep dive into the specs. However, I did want to quickly touch upon the particular price of the Mavic 4 Pro Creator Combo. I had a sneaking suspicion that it was going to be slightly cost prohibitive for many different people. The price currently on B&H is listed as $4,649 US. And if you are living in America, you probably don't even have to worry about this because it's not even for sale in the States yet. Potentially, maybe. So I definitely won't get my hands on one, but real talk, for all those that do have a chance to fly this bad boy, you're truly blessed, and I hope you guys really enjoy. And in other news, the Ricoh GR IV is potentially getting released later this year. And if you've never heard of this camera, allow me to break some things down. It's an extremely compact camera with a fixed lens, meaning you cannot change the lens whatsoever. The compact nature also allows you to bring it on vacations, for travel photography, for vlogging, or even take photos while out in public with a really small camera that you could place in your pocket. In the GR4, there will be a new sensor and a new processor. The camera will support a 26 megapixel APS-C sensor with a fixed 18.3mm f2.8 lens, which is a full frame equivalent of a 28mm lens. The camera will have 5-axis image stabilization with a 53GB internal storage and a micro SD card slot. It will be able to shoot in full HD video up to 60 frames a second with a weight approximately of 262 grams with a memory card and the battery. The camera will not have an EVF, just to let you know, but it will simply just have a rear LCD screen. I'm not gonna lie, I actually was definitely looking at this camera a little bit more seriously because while I'm going out with my friends, hanging out with them, and sometimes I just want to get good quality images. I don't like the images on my cell phone. I have a Samsung S23 Ultra. It's manageable, but it's not ideal. So a camera like this would be amazing to bring around due to it being so lightweight and manageable. However, I have to say, one of my biggest turnoffs is the fact that it only shoots in full HD. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's 2025. Every single camera, in my honest opinion, should be able to shoot in 4K at a minimum. Next up, the successor to the popular Sony FX2 has finally been announced. Now, the FX2 specs are currently rumor. However, what we do know about the camera is that it will have the same 33 megapixel sensor that we saw in the A7 IV and the C7 II. Allegedly, it's also going to have a new tilting EVF, a mechanical shutter, and a video-centric camera, internal 32-bit float audio, active cooling, same ports and storage as the FX2, and it should be technically priced around $3,500 US. Allegedly. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not feeling this release based off of everything that they've heard about the camera. Many people feel that this is a regressive step in the design and the feature set, almost like a repackaged version of the FX2 with only minimal upgrades. The specs are relatively identical, and it only offers minor firmware improvements with some minor aesthetic tweaks. Whereas some loyalists were expecting a true leap forward, they're seeing this almost like a cash grab. I have to say that when it comes to technology, it's not jarring to see these minor steps, right? Apple does stuff like this all the time. They release a phone with minor improvements over their last generation. I'm not necessarily defending it or saying that it's the right thing to do, but I highly doubt that Sony is the first company to ever do something like this. And honestly, if you're happy with your FX3 and it's making you money and you don't see any reason to purchase this camera, then your best bet is to probably stick with what you have and save a crap ton of money anyway. And last up, you remember back in September when Canon dropped that 28 to 70mm f2.8 IS STM lens? And then boom, in January, they dropped the 16 to 28mm f2.8 IS STM lens. Well, allegedly, according to Canon rumors, Canon is also looking to top this trilogy off with a 70 to 150mm f2.8 IS STM lens. Allegedly, this lens is going to be dropping in Q4 of this year. Now, the 28 to 70mm and the 16 to 28mm lenses were extremely popular lenses. They were generally well received, and everybody liked the overall build and quality of these lenses. These lenses were extremely affordable and they worked really well. So if the 70 to 150 were to drop later this year, I have absolutely no doubt it's going to sell equally as well if it maintains the same form factor and affordability. Now, personally, I would prefer a 70 to 200mm. However, I know that those lenses are always big, they're always bulky. They have so much damn glass in them, so they tend to be significantly heavier. And especially on a wedding day, that 200mm focal range is super clutch during ceremonies. So if I had to choose between the 70 to 150 versus a 70 to 200, I'm more than likely going to choose the 70 to 200 just for that extra focal length. And if Canon were to drop a 70 to 150, I was hoping that the aperture would be f2 versus f2.8 to combat Sony's lens that they just recently dropped. However, I do believe that Canon is focusing on keeping the lens light, compact, and in line with the other previous lenses. But that's just my thought process. Let me know what you think down below. And if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more upcoming content. And if you're interested, give me a follow on Instagram at rbstudiosphotography and shoot me a message sometime. Seriously, I would love to talk. Now, get out there and start shooting. And don't forget to treat yourself with love and respect. Peace.